everyone, I'm Megan Tobias, and I'm this year's Summer Camp Associate for the San Francisco Bay Wildlife Society. Today, I'm here at the Don Edwards San Francisco Bay National Wildlife Refuge in El Viso. We're going to be learning about managing our waste and preventing plastic pollution. Our waste patterns have a huge impact on the well-being of wildlife and the environment as a whole, and there are many things that we can do as individuals to ensure that places like Don Edwards stay healthy and beautiful for years to come.
Where does garbage go after we throw it away? It goes to the landfill, a huge hole in the ground where trash is packed in and covered with dirt. Then more layers of garbage are added. Plastic waste and plastic pollution have become pressing environmental issues. Plastic pollution is the buildup of plastic objects and particles in the environment. These can include plastic bottles, microbeads, and bags. Microbeads are very, very small particles that are often found in personal care products such as facial cleaners. Since they are so small, they cannot be filtered, and they end up in rivers, lakes, and oceans.
Why is there so much plastic pollution? On a daily basis, most of us use and throw away much more plastic than we need, and this is becoming unsustainable for our planet. Plastic that is thrown away after being used only once is known as single-use plastic, and this makes up about 40% of all plastic trash.
This buildup of plastic can negatively impact both wildlife and humans. Aquatic animals such as sea turtles often mistake plastic for jellyfish and other food sources, and this can make them very sick. They can also become entangled with items like six-pack rings and discarded fishing nets. With the buildup of plastic across the globe, millions of animals die from plastic pollution every year. Scientists have found microplastics in 114 marine species. Microplastics have also been found in a majority of the world's tap water.
The El Viso location of this National Wildlife Refuge is surrounded by 5 landfills. Trash often blows into the refuge, threatening animal and plant life. Littering is another issue that plays into this. When people litter, their trash can find its way into creeks and rivers, eventually ending up in wetlands such as where we are, or at beaches such as the Salinas River National Wildlife Refuge.
The good news is that people have taken steps to stop pollution and improve ecosystem health. In fact, much of the El Viso Refuge location, including the Environmental Education Center, was once a dump site. Habitat restoration groups have worked for many years to make the area a more natural habitat. Just like these groups have taken steps to help the environment, we can all do our part to change our own waste habits for the betterment of our Earth and all of its inhabitants.
There are many things we all can do to prevent pollution and reduce our waste footprints. These include disposing waste properly, composting, recycling, and reusing.
Some items cannot be composted, reused, or recycled. These include styrofoam, mylar products like potato chip bags, candy bar wrappers, and balloons, broken items, and personal care products. When food is thrown away, most of it goes to the landfill. Once in the landfill, food decomposes and produces methane, a greenhouse gas that traps heat in our atmosphere even more rapidly than carbon dioxide. So, what can we do to limit food that goes to the landfill? Aside from making sure that we only take what we can eat, we can compost. Composting is the process by which we control how natural wastes are decomposed or broken down into smaller parts over time. Food scraps, fruit and vegetable peels, eggshells, coffee grounds, tea bags, and paper towels are all compostable. Collect these items in a container, then create a compost pile of food waste, soil, sticks, and dry leaves in your yard. Once the compostable materials are broken down by decomposing organisms, The mixture will be full of nutrients and is great to use for gardening. Another way to reduce landfill space and decrease plastic pollution is to recycle. In fact, aside from items like paper, cardboard, glass bottles, and aluminum and tin cans, many hard plastics can be recycled. Make sure to check the recycling number on the item. Numbers 1, 2, and 5 can almost always be recycled. Before putting a plastic item in the recycling, it's important to fully empty its contents and rinse it. Items covered with food and liquids cannot be recycled. Our current throwaway culture results in single-use plastics dominating landfill space. However, we can reuse many of these items. Plastic bags can be repurposed as grocery bags or doggy bags, and we can reuse plastic takeout containers or empty yogurt tubs as food storage containers. Buying a reusable water bottle instead of continuously purchasing bottled water is another great way to limit plastic pollution. Aside from plastics, old clothing can be used as rags, and glass jars can be cleaned out and reused as well.
If we follow these guidelines and use only what we need, we can manage our waste and prevent pollution. By taking these steps, we can collectively make a difference and benefit not only our well-being as humans, but also the health of wildlife and the natural environment.